want to welcome, well, firstly, want to thank Mr. Khalaf Al Habtoor for hosting us this morning, along with BBG. We're extremely delighted to welcome all our BBG membership this morning, and thank you all. Now, this is in a very unique setting, of course, for our BBG membership who are very much used to attending our more than 180 events which we actually host throughout the year. But this is a unique setting because this is very much what we would call the Emirati Majlis, with a prominent Emirati businessman. He's not only a businessman, but he's a fantastic and incredible philanthropist, author, writer, and we're extremely lucky that we're actually with him today in his presence at his premises.
Thank you.
Now, of course, Mr. Khalaf Al Habtoor, for many of you all, I'm sure you all know him very well through his writings and his publications, and he may not need introduction, but I must share with you some of his fantastic achievements for the ones who may not be as familiar. He is, of course, one of the most respected Emirati business leaders of his generation. Mr. Khalaf Al Habtoor, chairman of the Habtoor Group, is known not only for his many business achievements, but also for his extensive knowledge of international political affairs. His philanthropic activity, his efforts to promote peace in a time which is most needed, and the fact that he's long acted as an unofficial ambassador for his country abroad. He began his career as an employee of a local UAE construction firm in 1970. Wow. Now that probably gives us away your age, but we won't go there. It was at Al Habtoor Engineering. This company later became the Al Habtoor Group and has grown to be recognized as one of the most prominent business corporations in the region, with interest not just throughout the Middle East, but around the world. While best known for construction, Al Habtoor Group has globally recognized through its involvement in the hotel, automotive, real estate, education, publishing sectors, and employing thousands of people. Known, of course, for his optimistic outlook and warm personality, he is well respected by his associates and considered a well-balanced and progressive man. An active member of society, he feels it is a civic duty to contribute to his country in any way that he can. He's also a devoted family man who loves meeting new people, enjoys acquiring knowledge, and looks forward with pleasure by each new day. It's a rare opportunity, as I said earlier, that we're here today for coffee. And of course, he's going to be speaking about his views on the history and the significance UK-UAE relationship, the importance of the early years in developing the UAE nation, the investment climate in the UAE. He's also well known for his views on the US political scene. He will share his thoughts on the US election race this morning and the importance of strong leadership in the West. Joanna Andrews, Director Communications for Al Habtoor Group, will moderate this session, and members will be invited at the end of Mr. Al Habtoor's presentation to ask questions.
Thank you, Lubna. A warm welcome to all our British Business Group who've joined us today, and Lubna, thank you very much. And a warm welcome to our chairman, Mr. Khalaf Ahmad Al Habtoor. You heard about the chairman from Lubna. I'd like to pick up a little bit more on the group and what's happened since the 1970s. What started out as a small engineering firm is now one of the UAE's biggest conglomerates, active in many key sectors of the economy. In the hospitality sector, the Al Habtoor Group now has 14 luxury hotels around the world, including those still in development in Dubai. The group is now present in the UK, the US, Hungary, Austria, and Lebanon. In the hospitality sector, Al Habtoor City has opened with the first hotel, the St. Regis Dubai, welcoming the public, and I hope you've all had the opportunity to experience this lovely hotel. Soon the W Dubai, Al Habtoor City will open, and the Western Dubai, Al Habtoor City. So 2 new wonderful hotels for us to frequent. Other hotels under development include a new Metropolitan Hotel. Of course, the old Metropolitan used to stand where Al Habtoor City is today. It was a firm favourite among the British community. And yes, the Red Lion pub is coming back, you'll be pleased to hear. The group is also developing an equestrian centre in Dubai Land, the Al Habtoor Polo Resort and Club. It's already playing host to several key events in the polo world. In the real estate division, it's expanding fast. We have 3 luxury towers at Al Habtoor City, due for handover next year. Emirates Oasis Villas, a community in Al Thania and Sheikh Zayed Road, are currently being handed over as we speak. And of course, at the Al Habtoor Polo Resort and Club, due for handover later this year. The Al Habtoor Group, as you may well know, is also active in the auto sector, dominating the market with Mitsubishi, Bentley, McLaren and Bugatti, as well as Chinese brands Jack and Chery. We also operate Diamond Lease, a car rental company here in Dubai. And in the education sector, we have 2 schools, Emirates International Jumeirah and The Meadows. EIS was the very first IB school here in Dubai and is only one of a handful of schools worldwide that operates all 4 IB programs. So without further ado, it's time to hear from the chairman himself. Mr. Khalaf, welcome.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming here, and I hope you will feel comfortable. And it is my honor and pleasure to have you as my guest in my headquarters here. And we thought to set up this way to make us, all of us, comfortable rather than sitting in theater and delivering speeches, and everybody is not happy. Therefore here, like Hyde Park Corner, free speech without insulting anybody, okay? Make sure. And, you know, thank you.
It's a British community, so no promises, Mr. Chairman. So you always say that the UAE is the land of opportunities. How does the UAE enable businesses to succeed here, in your view?
Well, I think everybody sitting here, they're aware of the positive and the negative of the everywhere in the world. I call on a United Arab Emirates and Dubai in particular, of the energy in Dubai is safe haven of the world. Remember that the number of people living in this country, studying in our schools, working, I mean, we are more than 200 nationality, more than, I don't know, much more than United Nations. Here we are, I mean, people with different religion, with different culture, with different background, but we have to remember something. We are under one flag, which is the flag of success, the flag of friendship, the flag to join hands together to make a success for all of us, and all of us to benefit. You know, this is the most important, and I'm sure everyone here, wherever he comes from, whatever his religion, is loves of this country and taking care of the security of country, because we are all responsible of the security of the country, not only the police, not only the secret service, us as well, to take care of the hygienic of the team, therefore we can live in peace and hygienic country and comfortable life. I mean, this is all of us. I believe there is no difference between resident or citizen or visitor. All of us one big family. Yes.
So what are the main advantages to succeed here for businesses?
Number one, I believe of something is, if I want to go to visit, to invest somewhere, even I will make a lot of money, unless I am comfortable and I can reach that place easy without complexity, not complicated the issue. I mean, I will never go unless it is very easy. UAE is very easy to invest, to work as an employee, to work as a freelance, to work in this. And I think because of different nationality, because of different background, different religion, this is why we are successful. You know, if you go to any country, let us talk about, I mean, Europe. Europe, they have, if you go to an office, you will find from that country only working. They are not learning from each other. We are here learning from each other. I mean, if you go to our small office here, the corporate office, maybe we are 100 men and women, and, you know, we are tens of nationality, tens of different religion, you know. And that's why we are learning from each other. And learning from each other is very, very important, more important than learning in a school or university. Yes.
What would you say the British have contributed to the UAE in general over the years?
No doubt, I mean, the British, we have a great relationship with them. I mean, before the Federation, and we live with them in a good faith, and we have a great relationship with them on that time, you know, whereby we need their help, we need their teachers to teach us, we need their doctor to medicate us, we need their hospitals, we need a lot of things. I mean, we have a great relationship with the British, but unfortunately now, there is nothing we can communicate. I mean, in Britain to import, for example, to there. Everything, Britain we used to import everything, every single thing from United Kingdom. Now we don't have anything to import. Well, I mean, I'm doing a huge project in the country, and always I order my staff, the consultant. I said we want to give priority to England because of our relationship. Unfortunately, nothing to import. I want to import elevator. There is no elevator. Generators, no generator. I mean, I'm talking about construction. Not as a contractor, as a developer, as owner of building. You don't have anything. Even cars now owned by the Germans. I mean, which is really, it's not good. I mean, with my respect to the Germans, but Britain, not like the Britain before. While I mean, I have my house there, I enjoy, when I have pressure here, I fly, I go to the village there, and walk there to see the water, to the greenery, and like heaven. I'm talking about business. Business, there is nothing to, I mean, unfortunately, to import to our country.
So would you say British governments have not encouraged British businesses to succeed globally?
I don't know, I don't want to blame anybody, but I blame the owners or the shareholder of the companies more than the government. I mean, the government has nothing to do with the private and public company. Themselves, the leadership. There's a leadership. I mean, unfortunately, there is no leadership maybe on those companies, you know. Even the banks, you see, I mean, the turbulence in these banks, I mean, not only the British and all the banks in the world, but in particular the British as well, British banks.
Okay, so let's talk about something positive. Tell us about your first experiences in the UK. Where did you stay? What did you wear? What's your first experience?
I don't think these people want to know that.
I think they do.
Well, the first time I came to England on the 70s. And I stayed in Bayswater Road. I'm sure that a lot of you, Bayswater Road, in a room, in a hotel, I think £3, £2.5 a room. I mean, you cannot enter to the bed. You have to jump from the door into the bed. It is there. Otherwise, there is no access. The bathroom is public for everybody in the outside. I mean, it was an experience. And I remember, you know, on Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock, you can't get a taxi. Everybody, you don't find people walking even, you know. You want taxi, stop, taxi, nobody will stop for you because everybody going, you know, home from Friday until Monday. I mean, that was my worst experience, you know. But England is, I call it the oxygen costs. I mean, England, because of our great relationship with the British. Yeah.
Okay, moving back to Dubai and a little bit of history now. You've obviously experienced a lot of the trade journey that Dubai has experienced over the years. So tell us about trade in the early day, in Dubai specifically.
Well, I can tell you, Anna, from my experience on later stage, you know, not the earlier stage, you know, that we are lucky because of geographical location. Geographically, we are like a hub. We are between the West and Asia. And this is why our people took this opportunity to implement it. And this is why our people, our businessmen, UAE, they are very successful, especially Dubai people. I mean, we have a lot of, during the British here, we have a lot of support by the British political agency here by giving I mean, trading between here to the Asia, and even giving passport to the people to facilitate going to Asia for trading gold, trading watches, trading textile, etc., and importing from there a lot of silver. And this is without the British. I don't think our people can achieve that because of the passports. British passport is the British passport to use it and then give it back. And that was really, we can give a credit to the British during that time.
Now, Al Habtoor City was, you call the blessed land. You have now turned it from a small hotel into a city, a new landmark in Dubai. Tell us about it in the early days.
Well, early days, I mean, this land, it was, nobody can reach it. I'm sure some of our friends here, they know that a plot of land which was no access to reach that place, and they started to build the Metropolitan Hotel stage by stage because there is no money to build it all at fast, so speed. But thanks God, it was I was successful to complete it, and it became like landmark. Definitely, I mean, it wasn't easy. I mean, to fill it easy, to get money, not easy it was, and really it was struggle to work it out. Even when we opened the Red Line pub, and that was the ground of the British and the Irish used to use that place. That was their meeting place. And it was dispute one day. This is also a story we're not supposed to say it, but I'm going to tell you about the story. I was a little bit dispute between me and the commander of the police, Abdullah bin Hall, that time. And he was very upset from me, and he put buses outside when the people get from the Red Line, he put them in the buses to take them to arrest them. Because of me. Then I called the ruler that time, and he released them immediately. But, I mean, this is a joke, but this is true. And we are struggling, we have no money, and we want the pub to work, we want the restaurant to work, and nobody. Very difficult to reach there. If you go there, you're stuck there with the sun, in the sun. But now, this is what I said, God is great, this land is blessed. Now it is in the heart of Dubai, the best location in Dubai you'll find in Habtoor City, over the canal. It hasn't been planned. I haven't thought of that at all. But now, the best plot of land ever. It is gift of God, I call it, gift of God. And it is the most important project, I think, in the area. Yeah.
So what did it look like in the early days when you first acquired the land?
This is, I mean, it was an idea that they will do the airport in Jabal Ali. And the late His Highness Sheikh Rashid suggested to me to build a hotel there. And I asked him, I said, Your Highness, okay, easy to say to build, but you need the money. As they say, the Americans say, talk is cheap, you need money to build it. He said, never, you talk with me everything, the only thing I don't allow you to talk about money. Never talk with me about money. Because he thought I was going to ask him, and I meant that, to ask him to help, but he refused. Which I agree with him. Yeah.
Now, you always say Dubai is the investors' haven of the world. And obviously the British media, we all know, like to criticise Dubai in any which way they can. What do you say to the critics?
Well, I can say we assume, and I assume personally, that we are the greatest friend to the British, because we are the people, we lived, we worked, with the British more than any European or Americans or anybody, or even more than the Arabs. But I cannot understand why the media talks about this. I mean, what they call it human rights. We are taking care of our people more than anybody in the world. We are looking after everybody. If you go now, I'll just give you an example. I mean, I will show you our staff accommodation in any of our projects. It is better than houses. We look after them, the most hygienic accommodation. I mean, I built for our hotels here, it cost me about 700 million dirham just staff accommodation. I mean, 700 million, it is not a joke, more than 100 million pounds to build staff accommodation with every single thing, you know, equipped with canteen, with food, with security, with the housekeeping, everything. I mean, we look after them. I cannot understand why they are. I mean, this is what I said in many occasions and in my article. This is what happened is democracy. Democracy, sometimes we use it in the wrong angle. What's happening in Europe now with this criminal, the terrorist in France and Belgium and Britain earlier, and maybe it's going to happen again and again, and I blame the West. I blame the West because the West brought these people. They don't represent Muslims. They don't represent anything. Muslim never. The first word they say the Muslim, as-salam. As-salamu alaykum, which is peace. They are criminal. They are wearing only cover the skin of the Muslims, you know, but they don't represent the Muslim. I mean, I blame, the European, everyone will come to them, they give them citizenship. Everybody that you taught them how to go to school, to how to wash, how to shower, and then they become against you. And when they come, you put them a cover of Muslims. And they are not Muslims at all. They have nothing to do with Islam. This is number one. Number two, they talk about human rights and they criticize us here. Look to last time, I wrote an article in Oxford Street, the most famous and the busiest street in the world, maybe. ISIS were with leaflet distributing to the people. We asked, we said, why they are? I didn't see them personally, but we asked why the police didn't grab them. They said, no, because of our constitution, we cannot do that, we have to go to the parliament to change. What do you mean, somebody is pointing a gun in my head? I have to kill him before he kills me. And that is what they call it democracy. And this is what they call it human right. Human right person carrying gun to kill me, ISIS, and the human right to leave him free, he should be captured.
So too much freedom in the West.
I don't know whether it is freedom or, I don't know.
Okay, what do you see as the biggest threat posing this region today?
You know, people, of course now we are taking care of ourselves from our experience. I'm talking about GCC, I'm not talking about the Arabs. GCC, we are taking care, we took a decision, our leaders took a decision that we should not depend in the West. We should not depend on the United States of America or Britain or wherever, because the promises all doesn't work, like an air. Therefore, we have to depend, and this is what we protect ourselves from Iran. Iran is the biggest threat to us. That is the biggest threat. The militias in Iraq and in Lebanon, and which is supported and backed financially, trained by the Iranians, this is the most dangerous, whereby our GCC country, they are working hard to prevent all these threats and to take care, to push them out. I warned them. I wrote an article 10 years ago under research that we have to be careful from Yemen, this Houthis on the border of Saudi Arabia, and the militias of Iraq. And I have that, but nobody sometimes listening, but now, thanks God, not too late. Well, they are taking care of that, yes.
So you would discourage British businesses doing business in Iran?
Well, businessmen, they are very clever. They can do whatever they want. Myself, I will never go to Iran with this government. Unless this mullahs leave and bring civil rule, then definitely we will work. But with these people, definitely no way. Even I will be the biggest billionaire on earth.
Okay, moving on to the US presidency and the presidential race. Who do you think, out of all the candidates, has the best chance of making it to the White House?
I don't think, I'm interested in the stocks, or you want to interest in business? Interesting. Okay. Well, I was in November in DC as a keynote speaker. And in decision maker people present there were more than 1,000 people. And I delivered my speech. I said, enough from politicians. We need a businessman or businesswoman to lead the United States of America. Remember that the United States of America is the ruler of the world, whether we like it or not. They are the power, economically, technical, technology, military, everything, science, everything. I mean, we cannot compare, anywhere in the world. And I said, maybe you will ask me, what right do I have as an Arab and Muslim to recommend to have a businessman leader to lead America? Of course I have the right. Of course I have the right to recommend. Of course I don't have a legal right to choose or to vote. But I have the right because America leader is the leader of the world, which they damage my countries, our countries, Iraq, Syria, everywhere. And this is, I have to at least to open my mouth and to say, ladies and gentlemen, try to, in the meantime, I wrote an article to support Donald Trump as a successful businessman, as up and down all the time. And when I reached my hotel after my speech, he started telling Muslims, Latin, and he said, Muslim, he will ban them. And oh my God, I made a big mistake.
But you admitted that.
This is why I'm deciding now to go soon to America before he banned me to come there. But always I walk in Fifth Avenue, and when I like the coffee in Trump Tower. Now the difficult how I can go there.
Incognito.
Maybe he will come and push me out and kick me out and throw me out from there.
Take a week off.
Take
a week off.
Maybe sitting in front of the tower.
In disguise, perhaps.
Yeah.
So do you think he's got a good chance of getting in?
No. I didn't think. I mean, my evaluation, of course, I'm not a politician, I'm a businessman, but my evaluation to all the Republicans, they are not fit to be a leader of the leader of the world. Of the leader of the world. I mean, if you look to Ted Cruz, I'm watching them every single day, unfortunately. And Donald Trump as well, both of them. And look at them, they are, no manner. Those days, where is Abraham Lincoln? Where is Winston Churchill? Where are these great leaders? Where is even Reagan in the time of Reagan? Even in the time of Bill Clinton? Come now, all this. Now look at the Democrats, definitely much better. It doesn't mean, I always use the word, better than the worst. Better than the worst. At least you can see Saunders talking polite. Hillary Clinton as expert, experienced lady. She understands. I can see in her she's a leader. Even she make a mistake. We are human beings, ladies and gentlemen. We make a mistake, all of us. If we don't make a mistake, we will never succeed. We'll never succeed. We think, oh, we are right, we are right, we are right. Therefore, I think Republican will be disaster for America and the people and the economy of America. And they will create a lot of mess everywhere in the world. If one of these, I'm not talking about Trump only, even Ted Cruz, he is, the wrong person to be with the Republican. I personally, I would see, they say the devil you know better than anybody else. So I think Hillary Clinton is the right person to lead at least the country, her country. We don't want to lead the world, her country, yes.
I have one more question before I open it up to the floor, and it's more relevant to the UK. So the UK is making a choice whether it stays in Europe this summer. What's your view on this?
I'm not British.
I'm sure you have a view.
I love them, but well, it is, you know, Britain always, you know, the English, they are not Latin. And I don't want to use what I told you earlier. And the British, they want to be in their own, you know, as usual. You know, they don't want to be there. But I don't recommend them to move from the European community. I don't personally. Even with the European community, the British is a British. I mean, you need a visa to go to England. For me, as an Arab, I mean, Schengen doesn't work.
Absolutely.
Euro doesn't work. Oh, they have the English pound, which I support that 100%. Should be the pound, or with the picture of Her Majesty the Queen all the time. And the British, they are proud of themselves, which I like the way they take care of it. But no harm to be on the union or federation, whatever you want to call it, with the European, especially with the Germany and France, and you know, no harm doing that, you know. Pulling from that, I mean, England now, for example, the industry, there's no industry. Even the cars, you know, I'm distributor of English cars, Bentley, McLaren, all of them, you know, unfortunately owned by foreigners.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for being so candid. It's time now to open it up to the floor, and I believe David has a question.
Mr. Chairman, there's a lot of stories told about what happens in the past, and there's a lot of mythology about various things, and over the years it gets embellished and it gets exaggerated. And there was one question I wanted to ask, and you were talking about the Metropolitan Hotel, and I was here at that time. And when the ruler of Dubai at the time cancelled all of the liquor licenses, which affected your property quite badly, is it true that you went into his office with the keys to the hotel and said, it's your hotel until I get a liquor license back?
I think you are one of the demonstrators. When I was
Yeah, we placarded outside and then arrested by the police.
yes, you are right. I was in England, in London at that time, and I used to have a general manager from Grand Mat. If you remember Grand Mat, yeah. Grand Mat used to be the largest management and owner of hotel in the world, bigger than any hotel. I don't know what happened to them now. And the general manager called Graham Gilby, he called me. He said, Khalaf, at night, he said, we got an order to close all the bars. I said, don't close it. He said, I cannot, I have to close it. So the police order, I said, I am the owner, I am your boss. If you close it, you are fired. Yeah. I said, I'm coming. I took that time, I think, BOIC, British, and at night, arrived early morning, wearing suit, straight to Zabir, to Sheikh Rashid, late Sheikh Rashid. I came, he looked at me. He couldn't recognize me wearing black glasses because I couldn't sleep that night. You know, sunglasses, and he looked at me. He said, Khalaf, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What are you doing? I said, I'm coming here to give you the key, to give you gift, the hotel. Not the key only, the gift. He said, what's happening? And one guy called Kamal Hamza at that time, he's the director of municipality, if you remember. He said, Khalaf, don't talk like this, you know. I said to him, you shut up. I borrow the money from the bank. Bank tomorrow will chase me, not you. And I remember Saif al-Ghareer as well, in the lab. He said, Khalaf, take deep breaths, la ilaha illallah. And I said, you keep quiet as well. I lost my control. I shouted at both of them. He called me later, he said, come to the office. I said, let me go and shower. I said, I'm not closing. I said, I'm not going to close. He said, don't worry, you come see me. He said, no, don't close at all. I didn't close a single day. Everything was closed, except Metropolitan.
So business is good.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Because I was approaching this Kamal Hamza and all this, you know, they want to defend, you know.
Obviously in construction you'll be watching the oil price very closely and it's impacting business. There's no denying it, it's impacting business. What are your projections for how long it's going to take us to get through that dip and back into where it's not going to affect our business going forward?
Well, I'm distant from construction since very long time, if you believe it or not, maybe more than 20 years. And I used to head the construction Habtoor Enterprises, and later I decided to be distant from that more than 20 years, maybe 30 years. And now we have minority, just to explain this, and then I will come to your question, minority as a shareholder or investor in Al Habtoor Leighton, the Australian. And we are not interfering, and we don't have anything to do work with that. As far as the construction, the problem these days, most of the contractors, the quality is not there, unfortunately. I am building Al Habtoor City with my own engineer, which I trained them from Al Habtoor Engineering. They brought Leighton, they brought some engineer, which they unfortunately damaged everything. I said, no, I want my own engineer, which I trained them. I brought them, and I put also from here, 2 engineers working 24 hours to make sure the quality and the timing is there. I mean, I cannot blame the main contractors. You blame also a lot of, there is no qualified subcontractor in the country. I mean, I spoke with the French embassy, with the British embassy, with the German embassy. I said, we need MEP contractors here, because the MEP is the heart of construction, not the structure. Structure is not important at all. Structure is the easiest thing on the construction. MEP is the most complicated and difficult. Unfortunately, there is no qualified company in MEP here. This is why they are delaying. People, they slow down of their projects. I mean, if I, as Khalaf Al Habtoor, I have my own engineers, and I know them and I trust them 100%, and we are late in one of the projects about 10 months. This is disaster. This is disaster. But I don't blame my engineers. I blame the subcontractors, because most of them, they are not qualified. And you want to screen everywhere in the United Arab Emirates, there is not good one. We want to encourage good, because what is the heart? MEP, mechanical and electrical contractor. They are the heart of any project.
But that's a result of skilled workers, I presume, not the result of the impact of oil so much.
No.
Is there an impact on oil in Dubai?
No, this has nothing to do. No, we're not talking about that economy. We're talking about qualification and ability of contractors. Yeah. I think there will be no impact here. Our government, I mean, there will be no deficit in the budget, no deficit in the project. If you can see in Dubai, for example, the infrastructure is going triple, 3 times, 4 times. They are working 24 hours to finish project. Therefore, we are not affected at all with the oil. Oil, sometimes if it is up or down, people benefit. There is positivity if it drops. People can use the airplanes, hotels, flying, coming to the country, which is also positive, useful. But I can assure you, every project in the country here, which is on the budget, it will not be postponed. Yes. But you need contractors. There is no contractor. There is no contractor. I gave 3 projects to different contractors. One is, which I am small shareholder in the Habtoor Leighton. Disaster. I can tell you that, which I am shareholder in the company. Give that also. The other one, I mean, there is no good engineer, but there is nothing to push them, no right mobilization.
Any other questions?
Hi, James Bennett from Budget Rent-A-Car. You may have answered it a little bit just then, but having seen the rapid pace of the developments in Business Bay and on the 611 with the Polo Club, I was wondering if there's any plans to kickstart the Dubai Pearl, because that was a very exciting looking project when I saw the plans and seen some of the work come up, and it appears that it's not, well, it's very slow if it's all still going now. So I was wondering when this is finished, perhaps maybe that would start again, or?
First of all, it is, we used to call it Al Habtoor City, Sheikh Zayed Road, not Business Bay.
The new landmark.
We downgraded.
Old defence roundabout.
No. Sheikh Zayed Road. The Pearl project, it is not our project. Habtoor Layton is contractor. And unfortunately, the owner, he cannot fund it. If they cannot fund it, still I think Al Habtoor Layton want a lot of money from them and they are not paid. Yeah, this is why. I told them to dismantle all the cranes, but nobody listening to me because I'm not the direct in charge of HLG. Sometimes they ignore you, know.
If it was a Habtoor Group project, it would have been finished by now.
Yes, if it is our. No, it is very bad. It is very bad to be there. It should be really, the owner should be instructed whether government to take it, complete it, and not to leave it like that. It is really a negative, I call it. Very bad structure and rusted crane, tower cranes there. That's too bad. I mean, the municipality should do, or whoever the authority in charge there.
And your question was the Waldorf Astoria Dubai group? Yes, it is.
Comparing with the Waldorf, that would be your project, that was done very quickly and efficiently, or it seems that way. So.
That's ours.
Yeah. One more question.
That's ours because we fund it, we pay.
Yeah.
This is why we complete our project.
One last question for me. As you're the owner and operator of several prominent hotels and landmarks, have you taken any additional precautions with fire safety, given what happened with the address on New Year's Eve and a few other incidences like that?
I mean, we take a lot of precaution. We add a lot of fire resistant for hours to resist, in case of fire, etc. You cannot avoid 100%. If I tell you 100%, we can avoid fire or anything, I'm not going to tell you the truth. But we are putting the maximum from our experience. Remember that I am a contractor originally and developer and everything on that area. I know what I'm doing. We are putting the maximum protection and the precaution and testing for fire resistance. Sometimes we are studying the fire should stay isolated in an area. But we are avoiding that by a lot of precaution, by physical and mechanical and, a lot of precaution we are doing that. What happened to others, it happened anywhere in the world, And imagine that if it happened anywhere in Europe or America, they will isolate the area for 2 weeks. One day we didn't isolate it because of the efficiency of people and engineers they were there. Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else? You have a question over here?
Mohammed Khalifa from AIG. If I might be bold enough to ask you this question, if I compare Khalaf from Shandaka time and Khalaf today, what is your biggest regrets and biggest pride that you can talk about?
That is, I can't say difficult. I compare that myself. I agree those days is beautiful days, very comfortable. Sleep better, relax, comfortable, sleep longer hours, and so on. But you have two choices. You have two choices. You don't have I mean, so many choices. Either you grow with the growth of your country, or you stay still sleeping as before. Of course, healthier that time. Now, I mean, you have a lot of pressure, you have a lot of things, but this is parallel to success. Success, there is custom duty now. Custom duty is your health. Our health is the most important. But nobody, if you work hard and think hard, you damage yourself. But this is success. And I prefer success rather than failure or failure. Doesn't matter if I get, thanks God, I mean, God created all scientists to give us medicine. And we are using this medicine to maintain ourselves.
So the main differences, you'd say, are discipline?
Discipline, yeah. I mean, no, we compared to, and now, I mean, we grow with the growth, and this is what I say sometimes, we should not accept whatever only we get. We should always look forward. We should look success. I don't mean to make money for yourself. Success, not only richness. Success, not wealth. Success to be proud of yourself and proud of your team. I mean, if you are general in the army, I wasn't general myself. If you are general, if you don't have better general next to you, or in your same level, you will not succeed. If you bring them lower than you, disaster. You have to be strong and confident. The only person who is confident and believe in himself will bring same or better than him to be his next to him. A person who is scared to bring strong people, he should not be with us.
We have another question over here.
Alexander Nikitic from Carfax Education. Education in Dubai is such a major theme, and of course Al Habtoor Education operates some of the best schools in Dubai. I was wondering, what's your experience of education as a business has been, and if there are any plans to expand there?
Well, education, when I started education, I started in 1975 at the High School in Deira, which I started that with donation from everyone. We took from the late Sheikh Rashid, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, from oil companies, from everybody, whoever they can pay us little bit money to build that school. And we built it to educate our people and to educate the residents of this country. Schools, very important. And we have the other two schools now. To me, I mean, education, not everything. When I mean education, school. School, to me, not everything. We have to educate ourselves. We have to, I mean, we don't want to be academic. I cannot sit and read a book all day. I want to work. I mean, I don't believe in people, I'm sitting and let me read this book, sitting there and reading a book. Of course you have time to read a book, but this is, you give it a percentage. This is my opinion. I don't want to people disappointed from my talks. I mean, people, you have to choose either to be a person, what you call him an educated person who read books, or successful person, or leader. You have to choose between this. If I will read education only, I'm in what you call them thinkers, people, someone thinker, philosopher, thinker, we don't want to be that. I don't want to be. And I want to work, a practical, I want to deliver, I want to feel things by hand. I'm not ready to sit and read book, even in the aircraft. I'm not ready. I'll go take the paper, read it, and this, and throw it. Because, you know, of course, there is in the books something. Of course, I will read the quotes from Winston Churchill to give me energy. I will read the quote of Abraham Lincoln to fuel me in work and business. But I will not read story, love story, or stupid story. I would read successful leadership stories. I would read leadership stories. I mean, this is my thinking, you know, to do. Maybe I know a lot of people disagree with me, but this is me, as Khalaf.
Any other
Not
questions?
like you, Joanna.
Not like me,
Yeah.
no. Always reading. Any more questions? Perhaps the chairman of the BBB has a question as well? Oh, you have a question over there, sorry. So
Good
far
morning,
away.
Andrew Prince from Acuma Independent Financial.
It's working.
Andrew Prince from Acuma Independent Financial Advice and also Director of Focus Chairs for the BBG. Not quite the chairman, I'm afraid. I'd like to come back and answer a question that you raised earlier on with regards to the media and the adverse publicity of Dubai as a whole. And if I may quote you a line from Winston Churchill, and it was, "To have enemies is good, because it means that at some time you have stood up and done the right thing." It's my belief and contention that the media, particularly in the UK, like to knock Dubai because it is successful and doing the right thing. So thank you.
There's no question, he's giving you praise.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any questions from anyone else? Yep, Neil?
So, Chairman, on behalf of the BBG, thank you very much for this morning, an enlightening breakfast and coffee with you. Thank you very much for your time. Just picking up on your point about inspirational leadership, who is inspirational from a business leadership from your perspective today? Who do you look up to from a business perspective as inspirational?
Let me give you a little bit of my idea of the basis of success and leadership. I believe in something, ladies and gentlemen, I call it God Constitution. In England they call it discipline. We learn from the English a lot of things, which is the discipline. But then I call it God Constitution more than the discipline, because that contains inside, you know. A lot of people, and I lost a lot of my friends, because I like to have my dinner, for example, at 7:30, 8 o'clock, my breakfast at before 6 o'clock, my lunch at 12 o'clock, I do sport, tennis I play every day, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, and I walk a lot, and this. I mean, if we follow what the English say, the discipline in life, we will be successful. Organizing ourselves. To organize yourself, you will be successful. This is one of the most basic and the ground of the step to go forward of success. Which is, I mean, like God created for us as a Muslim, a salah, the praying time. We pray on a certain time. Didn't say pray whenever you want. No, on a certain time. This is, we learn from the English, is the discipline in every single thing, which is really, this is a great thing. We learn it from the British. You know, I think that is the most important. I mean, you have to wake early, you have to have breakfast early. People, I mean, look to the people in general, in the Arab world, in Europe, and anywhere. People who sleep late. I'm giving an example of sleeping. Sleep early. Why you sleep after 12? Sleep at 3 o'clock. I mean, why you? They asked me so many times, long time ago when I was younger. They said, Khalaf, there is a good discotheque. Let us go discotheque. I said, good. What time? They say after 11:30, 2 o'clock. I said, why they don't do it at 6 o'clock? Why they don't do it at 6 o'clock? We'll go at 6 o'clock. Dance, we will dance, enjoy everything. By 9 o'clock we are in bed. Just to give you an example, and this is true what I'm saying to you. I've been invited so many times. I said, if it's 6 o'clock, I'm with you. I was walking the other day in Vienna, behind, we bought a hotel, Imperial Hotel. And early morning, after breakfast, 7 o'clock, I was walking, just, this is, I call it breakfast walk, about 30 minutes. And I saw people get in, going down and out. One Austrian with me, he said, you know, these people, they start now, they're into disco. I said, this is my place. I said, this is my time. Time to go now. Yeah.
So just pushing you further on Neil's question, is there anyone that you look up
Yeah,
to?
I'm sorry, I didn't answer that. I am, you know, in the beginning, I used when I was little boy. My father was pushing me very hard to meet Sheikh Rashid. Sheikh Rashid, and I hate to come to the majlis. I hate to see anybody. I hate, you know, I was born. I like to go outside. And you know, when you got a lot of people, this number of people, you know, you see, you feel a little bit nervous. My father once, he grabbed me, he said, Khalaf, when you enter into the majlis, nobody is sitting. Consider there is nobody, the seats empty except Rashid bin Saeed. Put your eye in his eye. Go. And consider yourself you are in his level. And my father, he's not a graduate from Oxford or MIT or Harvard. My father, he knows to write comments. And he trained me to write comments. And he can read my book. And he said, he pushed me very hard and hard and hard. Then I met Sheikh Rashid. Then I become closer and closer and closer to His Highness, Allah yarhamah, the late Sheikh Rashid. He was one of the greatest leaders I have ever seen in my life. Sit with him. Sit with Sheikh Rashid, then we become friends. Sheikh Rashid, was positive. He hated the negativity. He hated anybody negative. Always positive, 100% like this. And he wants things done. And I learned from him a lot. He is the man I cannot forget in my life. Who put me, I mean, he didn't give me anything, but he gave me the ideas. He gave me the fuel he called, fuel, energy. He gave me, you know, to start work. And he said to me, I hate people who sleep late. I swear to God. Wait. I go to him once, I'll tell you one of his stories. He called me, I was late that night. I don't want to explain a lot about it. I was sleeping in, this is Shabi Thani, we call it. I don't know. He called, and those days I like to put the telephone next to me. And the telephone rang about 5:30 in the morning. And my wife picked up. She said, hello? She said, Khalaf. Never he said good morning, good evening. Khalaf. He said, this is the voice of Sheikh Rashid. I said, hold on. I didn't know what I said, you know, like I am awake. I said, Na'am. Who is this in Arabic? Who is this? He said, you are lying, sleeping. Come here. I mean, I don't like to lie, but to him, he hates people sleeping after night. I put the phone down. I have a Lebanese driver. I called him, I said, start the car. Make sandwich for me. My wife running, make you sandwich. I'm running to the shower. Shaving. It took me, I think, shaving and shower. I didn't shower full, just a little bit. Shave, I don't know how I shaved. And I was wearing glasses back because I didn't sleep that night well. I was partying. You know, I went there and he said, what's wrong with you? Are you blind? You're wearing this glasses? I said, no, but my eyes a little bit. He said, no, leave the glass, better scary eyes. And, you know, he said, come with me in the car, and went to show me something. But, I mean, he is the man which I will never ever forget the way, how energetic, how positive, how strong. I'll tell you a story of, the people how to be positive and the people, the negative. In 2007 or 8, the financial crisis. Eight. Chief Executive of Citigroup Wealth Management, or Wealth, what they call it. This is wealth, I said, we don't have money. We spent all the country. Anyway, he came to see me, Chief Executive of HSBC, and he's French. And I said to the English, I said, you're hiring French. And this guy, a big guy, he came, and then I know him before, I met him, I can't remember. He said, my office was Metropolitan Hotel that time. And he came, this big guy, with another guy, and he was sitting, and his head, we said, hello, would you like to drink, sir? And brought him tea. I asked Liz, get tea, get coffee, etc. And his head like this. I said, excuse me, sir, what's wrong with you? He said, you know, the problem, the economic, the finance, etc., you know. I said, explain me, what is wrong? Why you are like this? Anybody died from your family? Anybody exploited like this? He said, no, you know, the banking, the finance, etc. He would start crying. Later, I couldn't control myself. I said, sir, you represent the largest bank on earth. Am I right, sir? He said, yeah. I said, are you chief executive of wealth management of HSBC? He said, yes. I said, what's wrong? Is it bankrupt? He said, no. I said, Liz. I called Liz, my assistant. And Liz, from this English, very cool lady, she cannot walk a lot like this. I shouted at her. I said, Liz, I forget his name. I said, our friend here, he wants to leave. I stand there and I said, thank you very much. I took him to the door, I pushed him out. I hate negative people. Never from that time, I told his boss in London, I said, don't never send him to me, I don't want to see him anymore.
I think we've got time for one more question, and then we'll close the floor. Anyone else for the last question? No? Oh, wonderful, great.
Well, thank you so much for your hospitality, and thank you so much for bringing so much laughter. I'm sure we'll never forget your stories. One question for you, Chairman, is what do you see Dubai in 15 years' time? Or what would you like to see Dubai in 15 years' time? Thank you. Because you're such a futurist thinker. So that's my question for you.
And I can see a growth in Dubai and the United Arab Emirates. I can feel it, you know, and this is from my experience in my company. We are a diversified group, and I see the growth, which is, last year was excellent growth. This year is slower, but still there is certain growth, you know. And I can see it at least for 7 years, you know, that will continue growth. And after 7 years, definitely there should be a major assessment how to plan things and how to forecast things. Of course, I believe on something, I don't believe on something which you go and do it without calculation. Personally, always I said, we have to assess carefully. To assess carefully anything we want to do. You know, like you are making, going to a doctor, physical, they have to make you MRI, X-ray, etc. to enable them to find out whether this treatment will be useful to you or not. Therefore, I personally would recommend to the authority, the government department in the whole UAE, that any project they have, and they said that in writing, to have one of the largest company like the financial group like KPMG, Ernst & Young, and so on, to assess it and to hold them responsible, about their assessment and the feasibility which they're going to present. Because what worries me, Dubai is very successful, and successful by all of us here. We are partner of success. Not depend on me as Khalaf or Muhammad or this or George or Tony. No, all of us. The British, the European, the Arab, the Indian, the Asian, we are all partner of success of this country. But we have to be very careful and we have to be very honest. We have to be honest, not everything we clap for. We should not do that. We should assess. I mean, any project I would recommend, if the government should not license any project, I'm talking about development, without a proper assessment, financial analysis by one of the 5 or the 4 or the 5, this giant, and hold them responsible. I don't want to write down there and say we are not responsible, we are not, no, you are responsible. Because, and I will also hold responsible the banks, which they are going to fund such ideas. I will hold them responsible of the damages to the country. Because any failure or any default, this is, I call it like black dot in the body of the human being. Therefore, we should be very careful on this. I'm sure our government in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and North Emirates, they are studying that. But Anna, as a person living on this ground and this land, my advice, they have to be very careful and they have to assess everything. Therefore, we continue our success. Yeah.
I think that's great advice to end on. So a big thank you to Chairman Al Habtoor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you also to Lubna Qassim and Neil as well.
Let me tell them, first of all, to our friend the British, we are going to open the red line soon.
Is Mrs. Mills coming back?
Huh?
Is Mrs. Mills coming back?
Red line will be Sheikh Zayed Road, near our school, a big hotel, Metropolitan we call it. We'll have the red line and then Corleone. We want you all to tell the English and the Irish, please. Because I promised them when they made demonstration in Metropolitan. They said, demolish the hotel, but leave the pub.
I'm sure we'll see many of these faces there.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It is my honor, my pleasure. Really, this morning is a beautiful morning to be with you guys. I mean, it is a pleasure, and we hope to meet again and again. Not to discuss the same subject, we discuss a lot of things, and we want you, to encourage, the British government, the British industry to come back to the past, when they are controlling the industry all over the world. This is very important. And in Britain, we need a leader. Yeah. We need a leader. Not Corbyn.
Or Johnson.
Please. Not Corbyn. And make sure some of the labourers here, maybe they are supporting Corbyn. Oh my God, I saw his interview, it scared me. I said, they have a house in England to sell it.
What scares me is Trump gets in as president and Corbyn gets in as prime minister.
Then no London, no New York.
I think Dubai will be a big beneficiary.
That's okay. We want you to feel home in your country. This is your country. Really. Thank you very much.
Thank you.